Welcome once again to Octane Mobile Gaming with yours truly, iOctane. So today I've got three combos. This is the first combination, and I've substituted the current support card for Luther. Luther is a far better healer than the current support card because Luther will actually heal your deck for 3000% of your recovery at the start of each turn. So you're getting a heal every turn. While the current support card, you only get a heal of 5000% every 3 turns. So if you do the calculation, this one will give you 9000% heal over 3 turns, while the current support card will give you 5000% on every 3 turns. So that's far more heal. That's 4000% more heal. I've also put a scepter on board to increase the recovery rate of the card. So this card will heal based on the recovery rate. Recovery rate is 433, but when you add this one to it, it increases it by 607. So you add those two together, and the recovery rate of this card will be over 1000. So you see, it's a far greater recovery rate. Prometheus is on board as well. Prometheus is there to give us our afterburn, and it's there to produce Power Gem 5s. Got 2 copies of those. It's also there to dispel Power Gem Silence, which the bosses are running. This one, Glacier Goddess, it's there to create Power Gems on every turn, and it creates more when you get up to 150 Chaotic Killer intensity, so that one is good. It also dispels Gem Silence, which the bosses are running as well. And Starborn Sentinel does primarily the same thing as your ultra rare and your master collection card. It will give you afterburn. It will create 3 Power Gem 5s and create 4 if the enemies are burning, and it creates more based on intensity as well. It does dispel Gem Silence, which is quite good, and it gives you the killer skill. So that's the first combination. The second combination is quite different. Again, we're running Luther to aid in recovery. You can increase the recovery rate by putting a scepter on board. I explained that before. I'm running Helen, Blessed Seer. She's there primarily to create power gems, and the amount of power gems that she create increase as noble killer intensity increase. I've got the Haunted Hunters. They will give you power gems. They will increase the amount of power gems based on intensity as well. They'll produce something called Alchemist. Alchemist will increase the damage output of all noble killer cards. 6 stock of Alchemist give you 120%, and the ultra rare does the same thing. It gives you Alchemist, and it removes Alchemist and increase the damage output of noble killer cards based on the amount of Alchemist removed. The maximum is 6, so you get 120. Put these 2 cards together, you can get 240 increase, and that will give you a bigger bang for your buck. I've got the Ultimate Form on board, and the Ultimate Form is primarily there to create power gems, to dispel Gem Silence, and to give us the killer skill as well. All right, so those are the cool combination. Of the 2, this one works a bit better against the guild bosses because you get more damage from this one than this one. Cheap deck. This is a cheap deck. The cheap deck will not do so well in, I think it's the Diamond League. So at this level, it will not do so well, especially against these bosses, because as you can see, the HP is quite high. It will perform quite well at the platinum level. It will perform well in the wave fights, and it will perform well against the platinum guild bosses. So that's where this deck tops out. Okay, so let's have a look at the guild bosses. So guild bosses. So the Korelian guild boss has got some ridiculous HP on it. So at level 11, this boss, the HP is 373 4.3 trillion. That's far more than the health of the guild bosses in the when they're at their maximum in the last commander event. Now, the last commander event, when the Korelian guild bosses got up to maximum, their maximum HP was 343 trillion. That was their maximum HP. Now, the introduction of Gem Crush brought with it the increase in HP. Now, the HP has been increased exponentially. Now, instead of network doubling the HP, they've actually, I can't even think what they've done. They've basically taken it right through the roof. So if you haven't got a guild that's got at least 10 or 15 high spenders, people who spend ton loads of money every week to get the deck, you're not going to do very well as a guild. As an individual, you're not really going to do well, because you won't be able to take out these bosses on your own, especially when they get up to maximum. And they will get up to maximum, because when you kill when you kill other bosses, it does increase the level of all the guild bosses. Now, the Sentinel boss is even worse. The Sentinel boss is very difficult to take down. I tried it. It took me 30 minutes and 30 keys to take down one of the Sentinel bosses. I'm not going to do that again. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my keys. It's a waste of my effort. So I will not be taking those bosses down. These bosses, I'll take out a few of these bosses. It will take me probably about 18 keys and 15 minutes. I'll take out a few of these bosses. When I get tired of taking out these bosses, I'll just drop down to Diamond League and I'll just fight against the Diamond bosses. So let's go up against a Diamond boss with the main deck, with not main deck but event deck, bar the support card. Let's use 3 keys and let's see how we get on, and then we'll try the other deck and see how we get on. Then we'll use both deck against the Korean boss, and we'll see the damage output on both of those deck. Now, Gem Crush gives the possibility of your deck dealing quite high damage. However, I would say to Network that Gem Crush is not as brilliant as you think, because you can crush quite a lot of gems and you still haven't got a lot of power, because as I said in a previous video, is that you can crush the same line 3 times and you still got a power gem 8 on the board. It hasn't increased. So as you can see, that's a damage output on that one. Let's take it up a bit. Let's fight against a boss that's got a bit of health on it. So let's see the current deck against a Korean boss, and we're gonna see how well this deck actually performs. It's a 1 pink star ultimate form. It will deal a bit less damage than a 6 pink star ultimate form, but the application is just the same. So there we go. We're going to activate all our cards to get the power gems on the board. Yes, we need our intensity to get quite high before we start actually creating a lot more power gems. The problem that I find with Gem Crush as well is that you're searching all over the place for gems to actually match or swap with. Before Gem Crush, you weren't doing that. You would fill the board, you would swap your gems, and there you go. Gem Crush, as I said, do give you the possibility of dealing a bit more damage, just a bit more damage, not exponential amount of damage. So I don't think we need the HP to be taken up to the ridiculous level that Network has taken it up to. I think that was a mistake. So as you can see, the ultimate form is 1.4 trillion. Yes, we haven't got a lot of power gems on the board, but you won't get a full board of power gems anytime unless it's power gem 20s. You can only get a full board of power gem 20s. I think I haven't seen a full board of power gem 20s, because I think a full board of power gem 20s, it's still gonna crush. And that's where Gem Crush falls down. It should stop when the gems can't crush and go any higher. So if your gems crush but they can't go any higher, you can't create a higher level power gem, the Gem Crush should stop there. So for example, if you're crushing just ordinary gems, you can't go higher than a Power Gem 4. You can't create anything higher than Power Gem 4. So once you get up to a Power Gem 4 and you create a full board of ordinary gems, I think the gems shouldn't crush after that. It should just leave well alone. You have a row of Power Gem 4s and a full board of gems, and the crush just stops. Unless you create a Power Gem in the mix, then it will crush that particular line that's got the Power Gem in it. But apart from that, I think it's not that brilliant. It's got issues that needs to be worked out. So I'm creating more Power Gems on the board because my intensity has increased. I've only increased by 0.1, so 100 billion. My damage output has gone up by on my ultimate form, so not a massive increase because the deck hasn't got a damage boost or a attack boost on it. It's got afterburn, which isn't a damage boost, it's just dealing more damage after the turn. So that's a main deck in action, and as you can see, it didn't do as well as Network would think it will do, creating all that gem. So let's look at another deck in action, and this is the Alchemist deck, the Haunted Hunter deck, and this one will perform far more better because you've got the boost on it. So boost gives you the possibility of putting out far more damage, whether it's an attack boost or damage boost. However, damage boost is far better than attack boost. Let's go ahead, activate all our cards, and because I haven't break all the shields, 2 of my columns didn't crush, which is really good. If I had say 3 shields on the board, 3 of my columns wouldn't crush, which gives me far more Power Gems on the board, because you don't want to keep crushing all your gems. As I said, crushing all your gems don't mean getting more power. Let's go again. So at the moment I'm just going through, and let's see the damage on. So there you go, Haunted Hunter is putting out 2.5 trillion, and that's with just 2 stack of alchemies. So if I allow my alchemies to get up to 6, it will put out far more damage. There you go, the heal on this deck is far better because of Luther. Luther will heal me up again. So I'm hit with Gem Silence at the moment, so I'm going to wait until my ultimate form clear Gem Silence, which it isn't doing. It needs to get rid of Gem Silence. And then, so I'm up to what? 5. Well, let's get up to 6 alchemies, and let's see damage on the deck. I'm not too bothered about the traitor. So now we're going to activate everything with still 6 alchemies. There we go. Match everything. Let's see the damage output on the ultimate form, 9.2 trillion. So this deck is a far more powerful deck than the previous deck. So the current deck, event deck, is not as powerful as the Haunted Hunter. The Haunted Hunter is a far more powerful deck, and it does create power gems over 3 turns as well. It's just that the power gems that it creates passively isn't as much as the power gems created passively by the current deck. Okay, so those are the 2 combos, and the Cheap and Cheerful combo, it's pointless using it against this boss. It's not going to take it out. It's not going to take out a diamond boss as well. The most it can take out is a platinum boss. So that's a diamond boss, that's a platinum boss. No. I think that's a diamond boss and that's a platinum boss. It's not going to take out this boss, which is the diamond boss. It will take out something quite lower. So it's not really a brilliant deck. So I'm not going to really demonstrate it because it's not that good. So that's the decks that I've got for you today, guys. I've got this one, the Haunted Hunter deck, which works quite well. And I've got this one, which works okay. Not brilliant. It produces a lot of power gems. But when the power gems get crushed, if it isn't crushed to a very high level power gem, you're not going to get the amount of power that you need to deliver the bang that you need. And Gem Crush has got a lot of problems with it at the moment. As I said, it will crush the same column of gems 3 times and you'll still get the same gem, power gem 8. So the first time it crushes, you get a power gem 8. It will crush the second time, you still got a power gem 8. It crushes the third time, you still got a power gem 8. It depends on the type of power gems that you're crushing and the numbers of power gem that you're crushing. So you're losing power from Gem Crush. So Gem Crush isn't really that brilliant. The good thing about Gem Crush is that your battles, as long as you crush 2 columns on your first turn, your battle skills are ready. That's the only brilliant thing about Gem Crush, I believe. Apart from that, it's got the possibility, but the application isn't really that good. And as I said, this deck is not really gonna do very well when you get past the up to platinum bosses. You have to go lower because the HP of the bosses have been increased quite high, which is absolutely ridiculous. Don't believe they should have done that. I think the next probably commander event they'll adjust it, but this commander event we have to just deal with it as it is. They're not going to change it in the middle of an event, but they've got it wrong. Totally wrong. So there you go, guys. That's a possible deck combination. I know it's not a happy one, it's not a brilliant one, but I've given you what I've got and told you what I know. So if you like the information, leave a like below, leave a comment below, subscribe, and as always, is Actor and saying peace and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.